What is up?
What up?
Welcome back to Sinister Sinema, where we bring you the best in horror movie discussions.
All day long.
Tonight, we'll be discussing 1986's
The Fly. Starring the guy from... Mr. Monkey. The guy from Jurassic Park. And the girl from
that
pirate movie. Directed by Rennie Harlan.
Oh. I was going to say that lady from that movie about the little guy living in their graveyard in the attic. Beetlegeist.
Oh, she was in that?
Gina Davis?
Yeah.
She was the main character one.
Gina Davis is in The Fly?
Yeah.
Damn, I didn't know that was her.
Wait,
she looks fucking rough now.
Did you watch the 1958 version or the 1986 version?
The movie I downloaded and saw had to do with a giant zipper that would go around and unzip.
Fly.
Did I download the wrong fucking Fly?
You did.
God damn it.
Did you see the Fly 2?
I love The Fly too. I saw it at the theater.
It had like terrible reviews.
I don't give a shit. It's a good sequel.
You know what the only thing I don't like about The Fly 2? Eric Stoltz.
Really, I like Eric Stoltz.
Isn't he a redhead?
Yeah, but it's just redhead women. Because they have no souls.
I don't think Eric Stoltz has a soul either.
He was good. I just wish they would have let him wear his mask makeup.
His mask.
So at the end, when he finally comes out as a fly, it's just him.
It would be cool, like if it was that, but with just a couple extra bumps on it.
More fucking eyes or giant eyes.
Oh man, that'd be messed up.
That would be great. Yeah. So what's up?
Oh, nothing.
I stayed up too late.
I watched a couple movies last night.
Me too.
I watched that new one on Hulu. I think it's a Hulu exclusive, Matriarch. It's pretty good. You remember the crazy lady from Game of Thrones that lived and had the son that was still breastfeeding off of her?
Fuck no, I don't remember anything from Game of Thrones.
He was like a special needs child that was going to be the king next, or I don't know. I think they wanted him to be the king, but he like threw people out the sky window, like the sky door, and made them just fly down and splat on the side of the mountain.
I don't remember that at all.
That lady is the lead for that. She's not the lead. She's the supporting actress, I guess, but she's the mom. She is the matriarch in that one.
This doesn't sound.
Hey, Percio.
Cheers.
Good afternoon or evening.
Cheers. What's the other one we saw? You told me it was good, so I put it on.
Deadstream.
Didn't Percio? Did you talk about Deadstream? It was either him or Timmer.
Dude,
I'm pretty sure it was Percio.
I'm so glad I watched that last night.
That movie was great. It's a Shudder. If y'all have Shudder, you need to watch it. It's pretty fucking funny, and there's some scary parts, and very Evil Dead at the end.
I think that people didn't like it from what I'm seeing because of like the guy's acting. But
he's supposed to be a fucking like a Twitch streamer, right?
Yeah. Deadstream.
Deadstream.
Yeah, man, I loved it. I thought it was so good. Like it was.
Yeah, it was Percio. Yeah, it was great.
It was great makeup. Although about just a few minutes into her being in there, I was like, she's the fucking ghost. Like
I knew something was off with her.
And then you text me.
I was thinking she's a ghost.
She's the ghost, isn't she? Never mind. But,
yeah, VHS 99 is. How was that, Percio?
I put that on my list.
I'm trying to watch a movie at night if I can.
Yeah, I was actually thinking I might watch that tonight. I stuck it on my I bumped it up on my watch list last night.
We have to watch Halloween Ends. I just don't fuck. I'm gonna have to do it. It's just I shouldn't.
Just watch it tomorrow night or something. After the stream, I can go over to your house. we can just sit down and get through it.
Power through it. See this Jason guy on the back of a moped with some young guy.
We could just watch it Monday morning right before the stream.
Oh yeah, we could do that too.
I can come over to your house and then you can give me a ride to the storage shed. Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm excited about VHS 99. It looks good. I watched the trailer last night and I'm like, damn, this looks good. I'm excited about it. So what do you think? Should we talk about this movie?
Yeah, let's start talking about it.
The Fly, 1986.
Duh.
David Cronenberg's most successful movie to date. So probably ever.
His movies are just getting weirder and weirder.
Dude, what was the last one we watched? What was it called?
Crimes of Future, Future Crimes.
Crimes of the Future. Which he made another movie called Crimes of the Future that isn't really, has some similar aspects, but not really. But he just wanted to use the title again because he's a fucking Canadian. And he's weird. But yeah, man, The Fly, do you think the Fly is his best movie?
It's between, well, for me, it's between this one and...
Uh-oh, Percio redeemed the fog machine. Let's hope it works tonight. Oh, shit. Check this thing out. See, things just go to shit when Jamie goes to Holland.
I think it's between The Fly and... Let's not do... Oh, yeah.
There we go. Now it's working. I had to pick it up off the floor.
Oh, I think it's between The Fly and Videodrome.
Dude, Videodrome is great. Videodrome's great. I think that The Fly has... I feel like there's a lot of smoke. It's going to get bad in here. We might set off the neighbor's smoke alarm. Oh, it stopped on its own. That's as long as it can go. Thanks, Percio. Oh, man, it didn't get as foggy. We got to get a new fog machine. We're going to have to get a new fog machine soon. We're going to have to go to the spirit store. Let's look at the ambiance. Videodrome, yeah, I think those are probably my two favorite ones. But The Fly, man.
Scanners was all right.
Yeah, Scanners is good.
But I can't...
Like kind of more psychological.
The Fly and Videodrome I can watch all the time. But as far as Scanners, every once in a while I can...
Yeah, Scanners is one of those ones that I like, and I own it. I mean, I own a lot of his movies, but I feel like The Fly, there's something about it that it's just a really good story. And like his arc is just really good for when he goes to just being this nerdy guy who's like, I don't really know much about, love or stuff. I don't have a real life. To like falling in love and, destroying that love and
turning into a hideous beast.
And ultimately, having to, realize that he needs to go down.
I like the way Jeff Goldblum, he did a great job, dude. Transforming, slowly going insane, turning into a fly. Yeah. It's not like the 1958 version where it's just a guy with a giant fly head.
Well, the 58 version is weird because, I guess it's... I don't know. I never read George Langan's original short story, which I know isn't very long, but I don't know if in that story if they became two different ones or if it was one. I think it was David Cronenberg's idea to fuse them together.
No, he's at the end. They find the little fly with a human head.
No, they don't.
And he's all, help me.
Oh, I'm talking about in the new one.
What about the new one?
There's no little fly in the new one.
Oh, I thought you meant in the old one. I was like, yes. No, yeah. he fuses them together. That's what he changed.
So
dramatically about it. I don't know what I was.
This was written by. They had another screenwriter, and whenever David Cronenberg came on,
he rewrote the whole thing.
Dude, this is a crazy production. I mean, it went from like they wanted Cronenberg. He was working on Total Recall. They got a different director. It was a British director, and
his son died, or
yeah, I think his daughter. One of his family was in a crazy car wreck, so he had to put it off. So they wanted him bad enough that they were delaying production, but he finally was like,
he slid him a piece of paper that said $750,000. Did you read that?
No.
And then they shot him back a piece of paper that said $1 million.
To David Cronenberg.
Yeah, so he was like, "All right, I'll do it."
That's crazy.
That's fucking cool.
Yeah, but the guy was like, finally was like, I can't do this. Like, I'm not. Robert Berman.
To date he hasn't seen The Fly.
He really hasn't done much.
No, but it fucked him up so bad he won't watch The Fly because it brings back too many memories.
Yeah, I mean they.
You gotta,
I think they waited on him for like nearly a year before he told them like, I can't do this emotionally. Like I need to, pass. And so at that point, I don't know what happened with Cronenberg on Total Recall, but he like walked off of Total Recall.
Him and the guy who wrote it, I think, or they just didn't. They couldn't get along.
The screenplay.
They couldn't get along, so he just walked away from it.
Yeah, it's such a weird thing. And so then he came back to the movie and changed it quite a bit.
Dude, imagine what Total Recall would have been.
Oh my God, it probably would have been nuts.
Fucking nuts.
I mean, Quado would have probably been even crazier.
Fucking Quado.
I mean, all those. I mean, I love Total Recall, the original one, but
oh shit, Chris is in the house.
All of those. Hey, Chris. All of those things would have really been all the
straight
aliens.
Tequila today.
All the aliens probably would have been even crazier,
They look pretty good. I like Vagina Face.
Yeah. Hey, Hazel. The
Mr. Monkey, yeah, that hand, the fly vomit hand. We'll get into that later, but
yeah,
that shit was badass.
And then he brought on they brought on Chris Wallace for makeup, and man, he won an Academy Award for this movie.
And it's funny because did you read that they fucking put his name up right at the end credits?
No.
Special effects by Chris Wallace.
No.
And the first screening, everybody started clapping. And
that's crazy.
The producer looked at him and went, "You're gonna win the Academy Award. Watch." And he won the Academy Award.
Dude, it's so nuts. I think it won best horror movie at the Saturn Awards, and he won. I mean, it won a pretty good amount of awards. Jeff Goldblum was actually nominated. I mean, that just doesn't happen very much in horror movies, It's a very rare.
He just came off of doing Gremlins. He did all the Gremlins for the Gremlins movie, and he turned down. They offered him Gremlins 2, and he told his crew, "Look, guys, we can do Gremlins 2, and it's the same stuff we've done, or we can go do The Fly with David Cronenberg, and it's going to be difficult to shoot because he's known for being crazy, and not crazy, but like difficult and wanting specific things." Even Rick Baker told him, like, "Look, dude, working with Cronenberg, you got to think outside the box. When he tells you to do something, you got to be like, whoa." So they were like, "You know what? We're going to do The Fly because it's a challenge."
That's cool. That's really cool. And it paid off.
And he thought he was just going to, we'll just probably going to have to do a couple of heads, fly heads maybe. And then they were like, David Cronenberg was like, "No, he needs to be fully seen, a full suit. I want to see fucking fly legs. I want to see a goddamn fly." So they were like, "All right."
Yeah, I did read an interview with him, and he said that they constructed the final fly was the very first thing they did. Did you see that at all? They constructed the final fly that's at the very end, and the Brundle fly, and then they worked backwards off of that. and there's some pretty cool pictures of like his progression as
they researched and referenced a bunch of actual pictures of people with diseases, and the lesions he gets at the very beginning. They looked at people with AIDS because you would get lesions like that.
That's nuts.
And he didn't want it to be based off of having like AIDS, but that's what the critics were saying.
Yeah,
it was based on cancer and just diseases in general.
I read stuff about that too, and I read some of his because people were saying that so much when this came out, because of when it came out, that he addressed it multiple times, and I think there's like one of the quotes that he on either IMDb or Wikipedia, I'm not sure, but he definitely addressed it multiple times, and he said it was not about AIDS, but
he didn't stop him.
Yeah, I mean, it's like that's how I feel. If I was to make a movie, I'd be like, people can interpret it how they want. But I do think that still happens. Like anytime there's any movie, somebody tries to put some social commentary in it, whether or not there is actual social commentary,
it follows.
Yeah, I mean that one.
That one you can pretty much see.
Yeah, but has the director or writer come out and said that's what it's about?
I can't remember.
Because I think like everything's about that, like especially if you watch like the horror documentaries and stuff, they're like, this was a statement about feminism and blah blah blah, and I'm like, I just thought it was about a murderer, like I don't know, like they
Did you see Dead Snow?
I think that might have been about Nazis for real.
Yeah, Dead Snow's about the Nazis taking over the world.
That is actually what it's about.
I'm like, all right. Yeah, I can see that.
I think a lot of people like project their own social constructs and biases on movies because
that's one thing about me. I don't get lost in it. I just watch it and enjoy it.
I think they want a movie that they like to have more meaning, especially meaning for something that they're feeling in their life. Like if they're like all into something, that's what they want the movie to be talking about.
Dude, let's make a horror movie and to tell people, Crohn's disease is real and it's out there.
And you're just shitting all the time.
Yeah, this movie was about Crohn's disease. Tell your doctor if you have these symptoms.
Yeah, at the very end, it's like one giant commercial for like Azapanamoth or whatever. That's just a medicine I made up.
That was pretty good. I was like, God damn, you know your medicines.
Yeah.
So, Jeff Goldblum plays a scientist, and he's at some kind of function. Some kind of scientist function?
Yeah.
Some kind of magazine function?
I think it's just a scientific function.
And he's there, like, just schmoozing.
Yeah, and he sees a hot babe.
And see, they're saying he's like a nerd and stuff, but he was pretty suave, man. He's pretty suave with that fucking crazy 80s hair.
Yeah.
Dude, you could pull that off. You should try to grow that shit out. And he goes up to her and he goes, I got an experiment that's going to change the history of the world. And she's all like, oh, really? Like she's just being like, whatever. And he just keeps like following around eating his little fucking hors d'oeuvres. And he finally convinces her to go back to his fucking warehouse.
Yeah, and you know what's weird? As soon as he walks in, he just sits down at his piano and just like, and
he has have you seen his real band?
No. Yeah.
Dude, he's so good. He's pretty good.
You can see like that she's instantly like, oh great.
He just brought me back here to bang my face.
Yeah.
I guess I'm gonna have to do it because of that hair and the piano playing. I mean, I would have totally banged Seth Brundle.
And then she's like, well, what are you gonna show me? He said, you've already seen it. And he points at the machines and she's like,
you can't leave now.
She says something, and she says something like, these telephone booths, yeah, I did think it was
It's funny because she said telephone booths, and because they were supposed to be telephone booths.
Oh, they were?
Yes.
So it was kind of, he does say, like, you can't leave now. I'd have to kill you. And I'm like, oh.
And then you're like, oh, shit, foreshadowing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's, Chris, he's a scientist in Jurassic Park, and he says the same shit in Jurassic Park about his clothes.
Oh, he does?
About having to wear the same thing?
Yeah, his 5 sets of clothes.
Except he wears just gray and black. And he wears the same clothes.
I think that he is also a scientist in those old Apple commercials that he used to do.
And he's
like a scientist to me.
He's a devil in what's that other movie? Fuck, we just talked about it the other day.
He's a devil?
Where he dies and he comes back with something. That was a thing for herpes.
That's what the social commentary was. Hey, Panama Red.
Damn, where you been, Panama? Where you been, Red? Where you been, 1020? So yeah, he fucking tells her, I'm gonna show you something big, and then the next thing you know, bingo, bango, bongo, they're in bed.
Yeah.
No, not that time, right?
No, but
not that
soon. He asked her for something that he couldn't reproduce, basically. Like, what's something that you have on you that I can use, so you'll know.
Dude, that scene.
And she like slowly pulls off her stocking.
Fuck yeah, that scene is so hot.
They were actually a couple during the filming of this.
Yeah, they didn't want. He told Cronenberg, hey, you should get, my chick Gina, and he was like, who the fuck is Gina?
She's got a beautiful smile, kind eyes.
She has
nice flowy hair,
legs that go up to her fucking neck. And sure enough, she just looked like that doll from Toy Story.
Oh, creepy. That would be creepy. Yeah, so, it's not too long. She goes back to her publisher, I guess, who's her boss, and says, like...
Is it Omni?
What?
Omni, right?
What?
He's going to be on the cover of Omni magazine.
I don't know what the magazine was.
Did you used to read Omni?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't read it, but
somewhere in my closet, I have issue number 1.
That's crazy.
I'm going to have to dig it out. I wonder how much it's worth.
The,
Chris, look it up. Mr. Monkey, look it up. Panama Red, look it up. Issue number 1 of Omni magazine.
It'd be like $2.99. $2.99. But she goes back to her publisher and she tells him, like, this guy like teleported some shit, man. Like, this is gonna be huge. And the guy is like, first of all, he's a fucking perv. Stathis. What is his name? Stathis?
He's so good in this movie, though. Dude, he took the role. He's like, I'm always giving these roles where I'm a fucking total douche. But the reason I took this one this time is because I'm a douche that turns into a hero. Oh. That's where he did it. And he's the only character that came out in part 2.
He's telling her this isn't real. This guy's like tricking you. He's trying to get with you. All this stuff.
He's just fucking jealous.
Yeah. And so, throughout the whole movie, he's like, "Should we have sex?" Fucked up stuff like that.
She goes to her house and he's in her fucking showering. Oh, yeah. I let myself in.
He was like, "How'd you get in?" She was like, "How'd you get in?" He was like, I still have a key. Don't you remember?" Yeah, he's a scumbag. He's just trying to get in the pants.
But he plays a good scumbag. You know how you hate people in movies? You're like, man, that dude's such a dick. But you kind of know there's something good deep inside him, past the balls. If you can get past his dick and balls that he just wants to use.
If you can get past the sex.
I'm saying I'm doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you can get past that, he's a good guy. He's a good guy. So he finally figures out, he tells her, I can transport inanimate objects.
Yeah.
But it can't read living tissue. But he finally figures out how to do it. And he tries it on a baboon.
Yeah. Dude, that part is fucked.
And the baboon's turned inside out.
Yeah. It's super fucked, and the thing that's the most fucked up about it is Gina Davis isn't like a scientist. She's just a reporter. And she's just kind of like, you turn a baboon inside. It's like they're not shocked at it at all. This fucked up, like, creature all like...
All this fucking...
And she's just kind of like, I thought that was a little bit bizarre.
Turn it off.
You know?
Turn it off. Turn it off. So... They had they used real baboons. Fucking, what's his name? Jeffrey. He's 6'5". God
dang.
And he put on a lot of muscle. So they said he was
pretty ripped in this movie.
Yeah, he worked on a lot for this role. And the trainer could barely control the baboon. But the baboon realized that Jeffrey was the alpha male. So Jeff could be like, tell him shit. And the baboon would listen. So all the times, like that scene where the baboon jumps on him.
And like kisses him and stuff.
And fucking he jumps on. That's a badass scene.
Yeah, it's cool.
And people probably thought that was fake. No, that baboon was fucking real.
Yeah.
And that thing he's 6'5", but that thing would rip him to shreds. Baboons are fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
Their asses get bright red when they get mad, like you. Yeah, and so he was the alpha male on the set. So he actually controlled the fucking baboons during certain scenes.
That's cool.
Yeah, I think that's real cool. So every time you see a baboon in there, Jeff was looking at him like, bitch, I will fuck you. So.
Up.
No. Jeff had to do what he had to do. Power to you, Jeff. So yeah, he figures out, he finally teleports the baboon.
Yeah.
And wait, does he teleport the baboon or does he teleport himself? He teleports himself.
Well, first he gets Gina Davis to come over, and he's like, because he's trying to figure out why he can't teleport, like, meat and shit.
Yeah, he does a steak.
So he tries to teleport a piece of steak, and then he cooks them up, and Gina Davis is Veronica. She's like, she tastes the first one,
and she's like, oh, and like she spits it out.
She tastes the second one. She's like, it tastes artificial, and he says, I've got to teach the machine how to, he says it's something with me because the computer does whatever it's told. So he said he has to teach the computer how to reassemble living tissue.
Makes sense.
And then he shoots the baboon through there, and it comes out safe. So then he's like,
then you kind of never see the baboon again.
The baboon's gone.
But if you have the special edition, there's a deleted scene which we'll get to in a little bit. But that's why you're like, oh, that's why you don't see the baboon anymore.
Yeah. And so then he gets wasted one night, and he's all alone, and he's just like, fuck it, I'm gonna send myself through. It worked for the baboon. And right as the door's shutting, you see a damn fly go in there.
And that scene where the baboon's like swatting at the fly? That shit's cool. Like, you're like, how the fuck did they do that? They actually got a real fly and put him on a string.
And like
and threw it over the
baboon.
Threw it over the baboon.
That's cool.
So the baboon's all, so like, oh shit, there's a fucking fly. Yeah, that's a cool scene when the door's shut and they zoom in on the little teleport window. And you can see the fly.
Not good, man.
Such a small...
He should have programmed in some fail safes that are like, hey, if there's more than one thing in here, don't transport us.
Dumbass. Made me mad.
What if your foot was pressed too close to the beginning? Because you have to set up some kind of boundary, and so it just didn't teleport the bottom half of your foot or something. You got put back together in the other one, but there was no foot. Just bleeding out.
Dude, we can make a reboot. called
like
The Fly
where
too.
he's like he's like drugging people. It'll be like a mix of like Jeffrey Dahmer and The Fly. He's like drugging men from clubs and bringing them back and
to try to get a match. Yeah. To try to get a match so he can get his foot back.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
It's so messed up.
So he comes out and he's like, he's such a good actor. You can tell he's like, and you're like, is he a fly? Because he acted so good coming out of there.
It's the first time you see him without his like shirt and stuff on, and you're like, "Dang, this fool's ripped."
He's ripped.
Yeah,
he's ripped. I wish he would have come out with like
a catalog,
4 more arms.
Oh, I thought you were talking about outside the movie. He had he had Jeff Goldblum.
Didn't he do the same? He did the same pose that he did in Jurassic Park in The Fly.
I'll have to look at that. I didn't notice that.
Yeah, so he comes out and like automatically you can just tell when he steps out, you can tell he's like changed somewhat. And yeah,
he looks more
confidant. Yeah, so you can tell like something's up with him and shit just starts changing for him. He fucking I'm trying to figure out where we're at.
Well, first he
starts getting the sugar cravings. That's what happens next.
Yeah.
That scene where they're fucking having coffee. And he's just pouring sugar in fucking the cup. He's just fucking pouring the sugar. It was a written script. But he was like, Jeff Goldblum was like, man, I could go so much further with this. So he just kept talking and talking and talking and talking and talking. And they were like, all right, cool. They went with it.
That's cool.
So a lot of that stuff was just him. Which I think is cool.
I would actually drink that coffee probably. Oof, My grandma used to make me coffee like that. When I was a kid, it just tastes like Werther's Originals. It was like sugar and
I can't get behind coffee because it's just liquid candy. I mean, which is also soda.
You mean it has like a bunch of sugar and cream? I mean, I drink my coffee black 99% of the time. Now
I drink it with no cream, like 2 sugars, if that, just to give it some little bit of sweetness. So I finally grew up, guys. I finally grew up.
For me, if I'm drinking coffee and it's sugary, it's got to be like the Fly sugary. Like I can't just have a little bit of sugar in it. It's got to taste like fucking candy. It's either got to be black or it's got to taste like candy.
Mine looks like milk. Are you drinking milk? Hot milk? Yeah. I'm like, no, it's coffee. I mean, I'm like, God damn, how much shit you got in there? Nope. No fucking lattes for me.
You know, Starbucks has like figured out how to make milkshakes like a daily drink for people. They have like the same amount of cream and fucking sugar as a milkshake.
Yeah, so Gina goes over. He tells her, man, my stamina, my sex, he thinks it purified him.
Yeah.
It re-purified me. This could be fucking for everybody. This could be great for everybody. And then they bang again. They bang it out. And she's like, "Oh, it's on your back, motherfucker."
It's this fucking weird shit, bro. And he's like, "I'm getting older. I'm getting hairs."
Sexo. Yeah. So they have this. He has these crazy fucking porcupine quills sticking out of his back.
Yeah, that was not good. It looked real bad. Those looked real bad because they were so thick, and it just made me like. It reminded me of when I've had stitches before. Those big ass thick stitches that they put in that like hurt when you touch them. That's what I kind of thought of.
And then he just starts deteriorating. Like he wakes up and he goes to the restroom and starts seeing like lesions, and he fucking was like, "Hey,"
snapping at Gina.
Snapping at her.
Damn, Gina.
Damn, bitch. Damn. He needs fucking sex.
Like she said at one point, it shows them having sex on a couch, and she's like, "We've been at this for hours," and he's like, "Just a little longer." I'm like, "Dang."
That's what flies do.
I hope
It's crazy, right? Flies are born, and they mate for 4 days. That's all they do, and then they die.
I hope that fool had like a bucket of KY, or she's like torn up.
You know, and so she gets angry with him, and that's when he fucking breaks the wood. That shit was badass when he breaks the 2x6. What is that? 4x8?
Oh, it's like the pillars of his freaking apartment. He's just punching.
He's punching. It's just like fucking twigs and shit. That was a good scene. That was cool. And he goes out. He's on the prowl, dude. He needs some fucking sexo. So he goes to this bar and fucking meets this fucking prosty.
I don't think she was a prosty. I think she was just a good time girl. She's just like, I want to party, and whoever the strongest man is here, a freaking...
So a free prosty?
That's what all the girls on Tinder are.
Free prosties? So yeah,
if
he goes...
Like not looking for a relationship, but they want you to take them out to the bar.
She's like, if I win, I'm taking the girl home. What did she say?
She goes, do I look like a prostitute to you? And he kind of goes like this. Yeah, bitch, you do.
That dude that he arm wrestles was a fucking real boxer from Canada.
Marky? I hope Marky wins. I remember her saying that.
Whatever. She wanted Jeff Goldblum's fucking hooked fly dick.
Oof.
That thing's hooked and has giant hairs.
Is it? Do they show that part? It's in the deleted scenes, huh?
Oh, fuck. That's the one that I downloaded. The fly.
The zipper fly.
The zipper fly.
Yeah,
so that scene, dude.
So good. It's so good.
That's a 100 scariest moments on Shudder.
Yeah, well, you don't expect it. Like
you can feel the music building up, and you know something's gonna happen.
But you don't expect it to be so graphic. Like he's gripping the dude.
He starts secreting that sticky shit to get a good grip on him.
Yeah, dude, it's weird. And then all of a sudden it's just like, and the guy, you can see the guy's starting to be in pain. And then all of a sudden it's just like,
snap.
Compound fracture.
Snap. Yeah, that shit was crazy. And they were doing some crazy technical shit to make it happen. And Chris Wallace was like, why don't we just make a plate and make it so when he does this, the plate shoots up and there's a bone. And it wound up working great. It's such a simple prop.
So it just like had like fake skin over the plate.
Yeah. And when he did, and it popped out. See what I mean? So simple.
Now see.
And they were like, it worked. And like a lot of the special effects, even Cronenberg came out and said the scene where he's walking on the ceiling, he was like, if that would have been done today, that would have been CGI. He goes, we had to build a whole fucking room on a Ferris wheel, just to get that fucking like minute scene. Richie.
Oh, what a feeling when you're dancing on the ceiling.
I don't know what that is.
It's Lionel Richie.
Nicole
Richie's stepdad.
Why would he be dancing on a ceiling?
Because you're having a good feeling.
Oh, okay.
Also, Gene Simmons and Dancing in the Rain. Gene, what's his name?
Siskel?
Gene Siskel, yeah.
Mr. Monkey Loves Lionel. Lionel Joseph. That's from Trading Places.
That was a good movie, too. Jamie Lee Curtis's best role.
Yeah, it is.
So then she walks in when the prosty's there the next morning. But no, first he's like, bitch, you gotta go through this machine. And she's like, no, I'm scared. The prosty. And he's like about to drag her and throw her in there. And
Gina walks in.
Until Gina shows up. If she wouldn't have walked in, he would have thrown her in there.
Together, right?
No. He didn't want to do it with her together. He just wanted to make her go through it because he was like, you'll feel so much better. You know?
Oh yeah, because he doesn't know yet.
He did it right in front of the prosty. I don't think she was a prostitute, but I'm just gonna keep calling her a prosty.
Freebie. Mr. Monkey. Yeah, and she walks in and she's all like, you can tell she's like disgusted.
Yeah.
Disgusted. And I think that's when he breaks the pillar.
Yeah, that's when he breaks the pillar.
And that's...
She's like, you look bad, you smell bad, your face is all fucked up. And he's like, I'm better than ever. And like punches.
I'm stronger, I'm faster. $6 million man.
Yeah. We can build him back better. And so she takes off. She's out of there. She's like, fuck it, I'm out. And what does he do?
After that, that's when he goes into the restroom and his fucking fingers are all fat.
Oh, yeah, his fingernails start falling off.
This is the part Mr. Monkey talks about. The uñas, nails. He fucking peels, it pops off and then he squirts it in the fucking mirror.
Yeah, not good.
So that's when he like looks at himself in the mirror and he's like, fuck, I'm dying. Like something's not right. So that's when he runs to the computer. Or he flies over to the computer and he sits down and he tells the computer, and it's cool because it's just a wide shot of lines and you're like, what the fuck is that? And it zooms out. And as it's zooming out, it turns into a fly. And I was like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, so he's like, oh shit. So then he tells her, right? He tells her and she comes back and he tells her.
When she comes back, he's all fucked up. Yeah, walking with two canes and wearing gloves.
Yeah. And he's like, and then while she's standing there talking to him, he like throws up stuff in his hand, like and
they didn't tell her about the ear falling off.
Oh, yeah.
So that genuine
just falls off.
That genuine scene where she's like, "Holy shit!" Like she's like, like that. She didn't know.
Oh, yeah, rough, man, real rough. But
and that's when he says
he realizes he needs help at that point.
That's when he tells her, "Help me," just like in the original throwback.
Yeah,
help me,
and
please help me.
And she goes back to her boss, Stan. It's like Mathis, but it's with an S, I think. Stathis. She goes back to Stathis, and
it's such a weird name.
Yeah, it's real weird. She goes back to Stathis and tells him like, you need to see what's going on, all this stuff, and she actually she like does more video with him because he, being a scientist, is like, you know, can you just record all this stuff? And he's like, I'm able to do this. And he's like, just, you know, but like my face is falling off and I've developed this. And like he's going about it all scientifically in his mind. He's like not even emotional about it. You know, he knows he's dying and he's just kind of like wants her to record it. And so she shows it to her boss. And he's done some more manipulative stuff, but like before this, but she shows it to the boss, and the boss is kind of like, holy shit, you can't go back there, kind of stuff. And then in the middle of all this, she finds out she's fucking pregnant.
So she freaks out, and she's like, she doesn't know what to do. I'm going to get rid of it. Should I get rid of it? Am I going to get rid of it? I mean, now, if it was today, she would have been shit out of luck. She would have a fucking fly baby. You can't have abortions nowadays. No.
Yeah, that's what part 2 is about.
Yeah, but people like the way it ended at the end. They actually, well, we'll get to that in a minute, but keep going.
So she goes to David Cronenberg to have an abortion. David Cronenberg plays a gynecologist, and she gets Stathis, who it's one of his friends is David Cronenberg in the movie, and the doctor, and so they go to see him, and she's just like, I want it out now, like freaking out and shit, but like, but that wasn't that was after she had a dream that the audience doesn't know is a dream, that she has a fly baby, and it's just like when it comes out, they pull it out and it's just a giant maggot.
It's all writhing around. That shit was badass.
It was so good. It was so good. And yeah, it has a fucking maggot baby.
So she wakes up, and then you hear the baby crying. And she turns around to see what's wrong with the baby. And it's a maggot again, crying. I'm just playing. It was a dream in a dream. That would have been cool, right? Then she wakes up again.
And it's Eric Stoltz.
And it's Eric Stoltz as the mask guy.
Yeah. So, yeah, they then she just, what's next? She just goes back over to see him, and he's like progressed to like a real fucked up stage, and Stathis feels like she's in danger, so he like follows her, right?
He
With a shotgun.
Well, before that, he figures out a way. He wants to blend them together.
Oh, right. And that's there. And that's the. Should we talk about the deleted scene?
Yeah. That's a good part for it.
Yeah. So he's like trying to figure out. He's kind of flipped.
He actually, yeah. His mind is like it's
Fly.
in between. It's in between Fly, and it's in between Scientist.
Yeah.
There was actually another deleted scene too that I'll get to also, that shows that he's in between both.
Yeah.
So before, or I don't even know when this scene was. He's outside, rummaging through trash cans, finding food to eat. Did you read that one?
Yeah, I saw that one.
And a woman catches him.
Yeah, I saw that one. That's where he's like, and then he ends up on the roof right there.
And he spits on her face, and it melts her face away.
Is that actually on?
It's not. It's not filmed.
Oh no, I didn't see that one because there's a different one.
And he starts eating her face.
Oh my god.
He starts eating her face, and as he's eating it, he snaps out of it, and he realizes, "Oh fuck, I'm still Seth."
This person. Yeah.
So that was. I don't know. I don't know if they should have left those in, but definitely the one with the monkey. If you think about it,
that one should have been left in.
No, it was in at the showing of The Fly, but people lost interest in him.
They were like,
as a human, they were like, you know what, this dude doesn't want to help himself. He just fucking beat a goddamn monkey cat to death.
Dude, that's how I felt about Heisenberg in Breaking Bad. There's one scene, I think it's the very end. You feel bad for the dude. He's got cancer. He's just making some blue meth. You know, he's like doing stuff. But he's not a bad guy. He's trying to figure out how some money. And then he sees these people buying shit to make meth, and he like says, "You got it all wrong. You do this, this, this." And then he turns to him and it's like, "Stay off my fucking turf," or something. You're like,
and that ruined it.
Yeah, for me that ruined it. I'm like, he's not a sympathetic character anymore. Now he's just a fucking scumbag drug dealer.
Yep. Yeah, so that's what the people thought about Seth when that happened. Well, anyway, he does, what he does is he fucking puts the cat in one and the baboon in the other, and he sends it through. Man, that thing is fucking wicked.
Yeah. It's
one end is a cat, one end is a baboon, and it's fucking...
It's like one of it's trying to run, but it's like stuck there because it's got a fucking two bodies.
So it attacks him. It starts to attack him, so he beats it to death with a pipe.
Yeah.
And that's when people were like, "Oh man."
And it doesn't even show him beat it to death. Like it just shows him like going like this and like some blood splatter. But yeah, I guess I could see that. Me personally, I would already be like, well, this motherfucker's turning into a fly, so he's got some, you know. He's got some
Mr. Monkey Chingato.
But then I guess he perfects that, or I don't know what he does, because he's like,
there's really nothing you can perfect though. It's gonna blend you together.
Yeah, man. He's like, I'm ready to make her me.
So when she finally goes over again, there's a scene where it took 2 weeks to film that scene. where she rips his jaw off.
Oh my god, dude. The makeup in this shit is awesome. I can't believe they gave an Academy Award, though, because the makeup's so grotesque. I mean, it is full-on grotesque.
Yeah, when he busts... That's what happens when a fly is born out of a maggot shell.
Yeah.
The head busts open, and you see the eyes. So that's an exact replica of what happens.
So his human body was just a maggot shell.
Yeah. And Cronenberg wanted to go with the giant eyes so you could still see Seth in there. They're just giant Seth eyes.
That's cool.
And you feel sympathy for it still, even though it's just a prop fucking giant fucking fly.
Yeah, and what happens is he's like, I'm going to combine us together. Stathis is there. He's got a shotgun. He's like, fuck this. I'm going to kill Seth.
No, before that, she goes to actually go get an abortion, remember?
She does.
And
it doesn't show that she ever actually gets an abortion.
Yeah, I know. She doesn't.
Yeah,
he breaks into the...
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yes. He comes in. He's up on the
That's a good scene, dude, when he breaks through and he comes flying down.
Yeah, he comes in and stops the abortion.
And he fucking grabs her and carries her away.
Like, he actually says, like, why would you want to kill little Brundle? Baby Brundle. And I was like...
And that's when, I've totally missed that part. That's when they go back and she rips... That's when he rips her. He rips the jaw.
Yeah, he carries her back to the apartment, and that's when when Stathis is like, "Fuck this! I got a over/under shotgun."
Yeah, you know that the people are like, "How? Why would he just have a shotgun?" You know, he was out skeet shooting, right?
Oh no.
Yeah, people were like, "Why would he just have a shotgun?"
Yeah, that's like a skeet gun.
They said supposedly he's wearing shit to go skeeting. Skeeting.
You know, I didn't notice that, but that's a rich man's sport.
Yeah, and he's a fucking rich douchebag that's about to become a hero and save the day. Well, actually, not really.
He does. If he wouldn't have shown up, it would have. But dude,
yeah, he is a hero actually because what he does to the telepods.
When he attacks Jeff Goldblum to stop Jeff Goldblum from merging them together.
Dude, the way Jeff Goldblum moves his head,
dude,
like it's so cool. It fucking looks like he's a fucking fly.
Yeah, it's so good. And then he just grabs. He's so strong. He grabs Stathis's hand and just like vomits his fucking vomit goo on him.
Chris Wallace didn't like that scene.
Oh, really?
He didn't like it, but he was like, let's speed it up to make it look like it's dissolving instantly.
Oh, so there's it was a slower...
So when they sped it up, he was like, oh, okay, cool, it looks nice.
So he liked it when they finished it.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that hand melting away is so good. It's so good. Oh, man.
He did a good job, too, because you would probably fucking pass out and faint. Seeing your fucking hand disintegrate.
Yeah, and you kind of don't know. He's actually about to kill him. He's about to kill him with something. I can't remember what.
What do you mean?
Seth is about to kill. Remember, he was about to hit him or something, and then Gina Davis like
no.
Like, no, right?
He's after he falls on the ground, he starts doing his foot to pull the shotgun, so Seth goes over there, or Brundlefly now, grabs his leg and fucking throws up on his leg.
Up on his leg too. Fuck, I forgot about that.
There was also a scene they shot.
Watch this right before we.
There was also a scene they shot where he's eating the leg, but they cut it out because they were like, we don't need to see that. You already saw the fucking leg being disintegrated. Yeah. So he gets up, and by then Seth is like fucking about to pass out. So he walks up to Seth, and he's all like he's about to throw up on his face.
Right. He's not going to hit him. He's about to throw up on his head.
And then Gina comes in, Ronnie, and says, "No, stop." And he fucking stops and he looks, and that's or she's in the telepod, or
no, at that point she just yells at him. But he goes over and grabs her and is like,
yeah, I'm getting everything
we're getting.
She's already there after he kidnapped her. I just can't remember what.
And then he's about to try to teleport her, and he sticks her in a pod. Or well, I mean, he's like a full on fly at this fucking point. Like she's
after she ripped his jaw off, that's when everything fucking just falls apart, like pounds of meat are just falling off of him.
Yeah, he's just like a. Yeah.
That's why he was smelling, because his fucking outer body was just rotting away.
Yeah, and he gets in the two pods. He gets in a pod. She gets in a pod. He starts the sequence going, which I thought was kind of weird because earlier he had to do voice recognition for the sequence, but he didn't have voice recognition anymore. That was a little bit of a flub, but
maybe when he finally figured out how to do the transportation, he figured out how to just fucking
type in your code. Maybe he put in one of those finger things like on an iPhone.
But he did a fly finger.
Fly recognition.
Fly fingers?
Yeah. And the they're like getting ready. The countdown's going down. And she's in one and Flyman is in the other one. And
he's all excited. Fucking Stathis gets up, hobbling around on his one fucking what do you call it? Bata? Foot.
I don't know Spanish. But yeah, he grabs that shotgun
and blows the cables away.
And just the one connecting their two pods, he blows it away, and so hers is deactivated, or maybe I guess it was her power or something, and he starts to come out of his chamber
to get him
just as the teleportation starts, and half of the whole pod disappears with him, and then he reappears in the other one, and the door opens, the fog machine comes out, and he just like falls out. It's like a big door in his back. I mean, he's like real messed up.
Fucked up.
Stathis passes out again.
Yeah, Ronnie gets the gun and walks over to him, and she's crying. It's a powerful scene, dude, for a monster movie.
Well, I mean, he even knows. He like grabs the gun and like,
puts it to his head.
Puts it to his head. You know,
even though he's a fucking fly, he knows. Like he's still in there.
He's got a little bit of Seth in there.
It's pretty sad, dude.
And she's like, "No, I can't." And he backs off.
And he does it again.
And she just backs off and fucking raises the gun.
Boom! His whole fucking head explodes. Yeah. Like they show it, and you're like, "Fuck."
Cabeza.
He's gone.
The cabeza explodes.
The fly is gone. How are they going to explain this shit, dude?
I wouldn't. I would just throw them in the garbage disposal. I'd chop them up and throw them in the garbage.
Damn.
I mean, I don't know how you explain that you only have one leg and one hand. That dude ain't going to be shooting shotguns anytime soon. He's never going to keep shooting again. In the second movie, is he missing a hand and a leg?
Hell yeah, here was a door and he's all fucking...
I'm trying to remember.
And they were like, "What did you know about my dad?" And he goes,
"Oh, right.
You remember? He bugged me." Yeah. That shit's great, dude. Remember. He has a small role, but it's fucking great. I love it. I have the box set.
It's kind of...
Damn, Mr. Monkey, that's fucking hard right there. Yeah, so that's it. That was the end of the movie, and it was just powerful.
It was.
That's one of the best. I always forget about this remake.
Yeah.
When people say remakes.
And there were a couple, there was the official number 2 that came out, and that was actually the makeup artist that did all the makeup on this one directed it, right?
Chris Walsey. Dude, the makeup in part 2 is great too. It's even better.
I think the story's just not as good. Like, it's kind of like, why would you do that, Eric Stoltz?
I liked it. He didn't know any better. He was fucking trapped.
Yeah.
Part 2, Gina has the baby, but she didn't want to reprise her role.
So it was a stand-in.
She was down. Do you know even anything about the part 2 script?
I know it wasn't that great.
No, Cronenberg backed it up.
He did? I didn't like the part 2. I don't know why.
They found out they trapped, or Jeff Goldblum's conscience was in the computer still.
Oh, okay. You know, I haven't seen it since, like, I was probably, like, 14 or 15, so probably I should watch it again.
What, part 2?
Yeah.
No, it's not in part 2.
Oh.
This is one that they wrote.
Oh, okay.
So his conscience is trapped, and Gina Davis winds up having a kid, and Seth finds a way to, because the military's using it to do bad shit, so Seth finds a way to use the teleporter to destroy the villains. There was more to it.
Yeah,
fucking what's his name was like, I can get behind this. Like, he helped him with the script, but he didn't go through.
Yeah, I know there were a couple attempted seconds other than the one that actually got made, and even there was some rumor that David Cronenberg was going to make a new one like in 2006 or 2009 or something.
It was later, I think, 2016, wasn't it?
I don't know.
Man, that would be fucking badass.
I remember when they were saying that, but then he came out and said, no, there's no plan to... They basically wanted to erase the part 2 that happened and make another part 2.
You should still watch part 2.
Yeah, I need to watch it.
Yeah, part 2 has Gina Ronnie having the baby, and it's a fucking maggot. And
it actually is.
She dies, and they open up the fucking maggot, and there's a baby in there. It was just a shell, which I thought was cool. The girl they got looked pretty close to Gina. Looked just like her.
But she was only in it for a few minutes. Right?
That's another reason she didn't want to do it, because she died right away. Yeah. She was like, if you give me a bigger part, I'm not going in just to fucking lay there with my legs open and die.
Don't let her ever be on a Scream movie.
Oh, yeah. Dude, but she would be good in a Scream movie.
Dude, you need to watch Scream and Scream 2.
Well, fuck, before I came over here, you were fucking watching it. And I was like, what the fuck? I haven't seen Scream 2.
And then you just sit down and start watching it.
I didn't know what it was. And then I was like, well, shit, I know who killed who now, or who's the killers.
VHS box on top of the VCR, like this big.
I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah. Well.
So yeah, if you get a chance, check out The Fly. Probably one of the better body horror movies out there. Okay. Except for The Thing. You can't, and Videodrome. But fucking David Cronenberg, he's the king of body horror.
Yeah. I feel like this one is the...
They even did a fucking Rick and Morty.
I mean, which ones, I mean, this one, which one did you say a while ago?
Videodrome?
Oh yeah, Videodrome. Videodrome's good. This one, I feel like has a better... It's like you're more invested in the characters. Like, this one's actually... You're not really like James Woods' character. You're not like
invested in him.
Yeah, you're not like, you don't really, you're not sad when stuff's happening to him. Like, you're not sad at the end of the movie.
You're not sad when he's whipping that TV with a black whip.
No, I mean, you're not really sad when you find out that that Blondie dies. But this movie, you're actually like kind of invested in their relationship. They built the story really, really well in this one. And I think a lot of times David Cronenberg stuff is you don't feel as emotionally invested in the characters. Like the one we just watched, Future Crimes of the Future. Like, I'm not like,
dude, I didn't.
It's weird as fuck. But
I didn't know. As I'm watching it, I'm like, it was like I was in a dream.
Yeah,
Did you get that?
It's weird. It's weird.
Dude, I was like, what am I watching? Like, am I in a dream? Like, everything was just weird.
I mean, that's what he wants,
And I was like, fuck, thank goodness I didn't take any mushrooms. Because I would have been like, taking off, running down the street, dude. Trying to fucking rip people's ears off. Glue them to my fucking nips.
But this one I think is, in my opinion, the best one he's done as far as like an actual story, like getting you invested in the story.
Yeah, you actually feel sad when he's like, he's going crazy and she's crying before when he's changing into a madman.
It's like, I mean, think about like even like The Brood. okay.
Dude, I haven't seen The Brood
lady
in so long, but I'm getting in the Criterion Collection November 8th.
Oh my god, it's such a good movie. But at the same time, you feel bad for her, but then at the end you're just kind of like, eh. Like, I mean, I'm not like, but in this one, it's like I really like the characters, and they really give you it's the acting, dude. It's the acting. They are Gina Davis and Jeff Goldblum are just awesome, and I think because they were in a real relationship, their on-screen chemistry was so good. So
when he's banging Free Prosty, that scene,
yeah,
she was really pissed. And then after this, what was her movie? Fuck. Earth Girls Are Easy.
Oh yeah, was that after this?
I was like, what are you guys doing? Like, Jeff Goldblum in purple fur? Jesus.
Yeah. What a bad movie.
That one line he says, though, I'm an insect that dreamed he was a human, and then woke up and the dream was over. Yeah. Very powerful.
Yeah, man, it's a great freaking movie. But you got anything else about this one?
No, I mean, I have a bunch of like, what do you call it? Trivia and shit about it. It was double billed with aliens.
Oh, that's cool.
Dude, imagine. Fuck. I mean, I'm trying to think if I saw The Fly at the theater. I'm pretty sure I did. I know for sure I skipped school to go see Aliens.
That's cool. Dude, Aliens is so good.
Like, I was like, I'm out. I am out. And the telepods were after Cronenberg's fucking Ducati. They were the engine of his Ducati.
Oh, they tried to make him look like a big.
Yeah, he was like, you know what?
Block.
I want it to look like my fucking Ducati cylinder, so everybody knows I'm rich. Because you can only have a Ducati if you're rich.
I mean, definitely like Ducatis aren't cheap.
James Woods turned down the role of Seth. Mel Gibson turned down the role of Seth. Mel Brooks turned down the role of Seth. No, I'm just playing. But Mel Brooks was a producer on the set, and he didn't want anybody to know.
I saw that.
He didn't want anybody to know because, Mel Brooks is known for comedy. Yeah. And if y'all haven't seen History of the Worlds, have you seen History of the Worlds? Mm-hmm. Dude,
I used to love Mel Brooks when I was a kid.
Dude, is he still alive? I don't even know if he's still alive. I don't know. But Richard Dreyfuss turned down the role.
Dude, all these people sound terrible compared to Jeff Goldblum. I can't imagine them. John
Lithgow auditioned but didn't get it. I don't know, though. You can't see anybody else. But then again, when Michael Keaton was cast as Batman, people were like, fuck are y'all doing? Michael Keaton. He's Mr. Mom. He did nothing but comedies.
Dude, I saw Mr. Mom at the drive-in theater. I just wanted to say that because I didn't see a lot of stuff at drive-in theater, but
I saw The Exorcist at the drive-in when it came out. I was a little fucking kid screaming under the fucking dashboard.
Dude, our drive-in theater, I mean, I get it why drive-in theaters failed. One, if you're in the back seat, you can't see shit. Two, you have to turn your radio on to a certain AM station. It's getting interference the whole time. Or our drive-in theater also had the option to get the thing that was on the cable and put it inside your window and then roll the window up. So you got like a little mono speaker playing for a giant-ass movie. Like the biggest movie you can imagine, you've got a speaker this big. If they could have figured out
the sound
for drive-in theaters, I think it would have done better.
You have to have a license, right, to do FM?
Yeah, certain between any certain bands. They actually changed it so there's like a lot of the government usurped a lot of the public waves again not too long ago.
What they should do, dude, I don't know if I want to say it. I really don't know if I want to say it.
What?
You fucking, at the beginning when you walk in, when you go into the drive-thru, they give you a disc. And they tell you, at this exact time, hit play.
Well, now
and you can listen to it in your...
That would be hard as shit, though.
Listen to surround sound in your fucking car, dude.
But they could do that now they could do that now.
I said too much. Fuck.
You could do that now. Well, car stereos don't know surround sound.
I mean, you know what I mean.
Yeah, but they could do it now.
Unless you're driving a Peugeot. Peugeot has surround sound.
Nobody's gonna know. Nobody's gonna do that shit.
But who the fuck that owns a Peugeot is gonna go to fucking drive in?
You still don't. You still just don't. It's not a great watching experience. You know, and we used to get chairs and sit in front of our car, but then you were just listening to that one speaker, and then you can hear the delay from all the other speakers around you, and it just sounds fucking terrible.
Yeah.
I mean,
dude, having a drive. I keep saying when I say drive-through. Having a drive-in would be awesome.
The Mission Drive-in at all in the last couple years? I mean, I know they're doing movies there, but I think the only way to really do a drive-in now would be if you had like full-on big speakers and just had like have them going back on a delay, so like everybody's listening to the music.
That'd be cool.
That's what we did at.
I went and saw a double feature.
Sinister Sinema.
I went and saw a double feature with my mom and dad. Sudden Impact.
Oh yeah.
With fucking Die Hard.
Dang, that's awesome.
My dad wanted to see him, and I was like, I don't want to fucking see these movies, and I fucking love both of them.
Clint Eastwood and
Bruce Willis. Dude, I was like, holy shit, this is the best movie I've ever seen, Die Hard.
Oh, man.
So I saw it OG style.
I did not see Die Hard, the first Die Hard in the theater, but I saw the follow-up Die Hards.
I just saw part 1 and 2. Oh, part 3 with Sam Jackson?
Yeah.
Dude, that's a good one.
I like all the Die Hard movies. I mean,
Never.
They're a guilty pleasure.
Haven't seen any of the other ones.
It's like
after a while, I just don't, what do you call it? And it's crazy, Jeff Goldblum came on in 2. What was the other movie, the remake he came on? Come on.
Jeff Goldblum?
He came out on another remake.
The newest Jurassic Park? I don't know. Oh, like a remake of a movie. Jeff Goldblum.
Come on. Big movie.
I don't know.
It makes you see how old he is. I mean, you can tell. But that dude aged gracefully. He looks fucking great. Beijing the Body Snatchers.
Oh, shit. Yeah, I completely forgot about that.
Which is also great. 78?
Holy crap. Yeah, that's a long time.
He's super young in that movie, but yeah, Jeff, he's badass. He's so effeminate, dude.
90s.
He's so effeminate. I fucking love it. He has pictures of women throwing on him. They fucking love him. You know who can't stand him?
Brad Pitt.
So I would send her a picture on Facebook of him every day in that pose.
Who?
And she would be like, gag.
Who?
Every day I would send her a picture, and there he was with his shirt open, with his hairy chest. Omega.
Oh, that's awesome.
She can't stand him. I don't know why. She won't tell me why. She's like, stop it already. I'm like,
she probably had some teen thing with him, and now she wants to deny it. So now it's like,
I'm sorry. I have a teen thing with him, and an adult thing, and a midlife crisis thing.
I feel like there are very few actors that I would like to meet, and he's one of the people that I feel like would be cool to meet. I think he would just be like a chill, normal kind of dude.
What did I say he says when he meets people?
He says he uses their name.
Like he knows you.
He knows them, yeah.
That's so cool. Like, I want to meet him, and I want to meet Tom Hanks. They said Tom Hanks is super fucking cool. Like, he'll just... You heard that story when that guy passed out right at the bar?
No.
One of their friends passed out at a bar, and Tom Hanks was there. And Tom Hanks got his phone and fucking took pictures with him passed out. So when he woke up, and they didn't tell him. So when he woke up to look at his pictures, fucking Tom Hanks was there taking pictures with him. But he was too fucking drunk and passed out.
That's funny.
Jack Black. They said Jack Black's super cool.
I mean, I would throw all those people into a blender and kill them if I could just meet Brad.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, like, meet Brad, like...
Sexy Brad.
Not
oh, yeah, Mr. Monkey met Jack Black. And Brad Pitt. Right? Did you meet Brad Pitt? All the old ladies were giving him Galdo and
I don't know.
Picadillo. Do you like Picadillo?
Is picadillo the green salsa?
No. Meat and potatoes.
Oh yeah, we had that at our grand opening of the tattoo shop.
Yeah, his parents met Brad. Oh yeah. Oh, I think his best role is Pulp Fiction. Hands down.
Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, he plays Vincent, the hitman. Great. Dude, that's what restarted his career.
It kick-started his career.
And that and The Vanisher from Deadpool 2.
That actually is pretty funny. He got paid less than $1,000. I think he got paid the union minimum for being on screen that amount of time, and it was like $980 or something like that. Yeah. I just watched. Well, Deadstream. We both watched. That thing was pretty awesome. I think we should do a little short review of that. But I also just watched Matriarch, which is a Hulu exclusive. Are you planning on watching it? Because I'm going to spoil it for you if you're not.
No, I mean, I don't give a shit. I don't care about spoilers.
It's like whatever. It's just one of those, there's so many horror movies coming out right now. Like, I just saw that
horror is in.
Dude, I just saw that Smile just broke like $140 million at the box office on like something dumb, like a $9 million or $10 million. I mean, it's like, crazy.
I'll spoil the ending of Smile right now. You find out at the end, it's just somebody going up behind them and tickling their ribs. That's all it is. So it's all scary jump scares, and then at the end, you just see the
little kid,
and they catch him. Oh shit!
It's over.
Done.
In India, they would cut your hands off for that.
Fuck.
The other one was Matriarch, which I think I mentioned for a second before we started. There's some cool stuff in it. So the story overall is this lady's returning home to a fucked up place, and all this fucked up stuff happens. But there's some cool scenes in it. One is she has this dream. There's this lady holding a baby, and the mom/grandma was like kind of yelling at her, like, shut that baby up, kind of thing. And while she's walking by, and she says some shit to him. And later on, she's walking out, and the baby's crying, and the lady looks up, the mom. She's like a teen mom. She looks up, and there's blood all over her face. And then the camera comes in, and dude, the baby's face is fucking eaten away. I mean, like, full on a little baby with its face, like, munched out. I was like, fuck!
Like, the whole face? Yes.
It's like this much of it just gone. Just a munched up baby.
I like how people are getting balls and doing shit like that.
I was like, holy fuck. Holy fook.
Now I have to check that out.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very slow burn. It's kind of a, I don't know, supernatural kind of thing. Like a slow burn supernatural. It's more of a thriller than a horror, but it's, it's a horror, I guess, but it's
very horrorish.
Oh, yeah, it's about a horror.
Horrorish.
Horrorish.
What do we have coming up?
Let's see. I gotta do some magic over here with this thing, because Jamie's not here. We've got Ginger Snaps tomorrow night.
Holy shit. Look how close we are to the end.
I know. Which of these movies?
I have no life.
Have you watched all these?
No life.
Have you watched any of these yet?
I just need to watch Halloween Ends. I want to watch Record. I want to watch Record 2 again.
I've seen all these movies.
Yeah, I've already seen them all, but
Rec 2, we kind of were talking about that the other night. I remember what it's about, the premise and the general overview, but I cannot, for whatever reason, every time I think about, because we were originally going to do Rec 1, which I know pretty well. I went and saw that in the theater, and then I've watched it a couple times since then. That movie's amazing.
But Rec 2 is so underrated.
I just can't remember it. I know I saw it. I just can't remember it. Like, I remember the stupid American version video or whatever it's called.
Quarantine.
I remember that more than I remember Rec 2, but I didn't even see Quarantine in the theaters because
It starred Dexter's sister.
I don't like remakes of foreign movies. There's something in my soul that's just like, just watch the fucking foreign film. It's usually better.
Except Let Me In.
I wouldn't say that the American version's better. I mean,
it's good.
It's very much the same. They definitely like on the American versus the Swedish, was it Sweden? Like the attack scene in the tunnel where she goes out for the first time and has to get her own blood. Dude, that is vicious in the American one. And it's very CGI because they like make her all, move around all fast, but like I was like, man, I like how they made it more brutal of an already brutal movie. And there's also there's a series coming out.
It's already out.
Oh, it is already out. I just saw that today, and I read like the overview of it, and it was a 12-year-old got turned into a vampire 10 years ago. She's not like super old like in the other one.
Let's see, why you gotta fuck with shit?
It's her dad that's taking care of her, not her childhood lover. And it's her and her dad, and they return to New York City to try to find a cure. So, I mean, it's definitely nothing like the movies, because the movies, they're not looking for a cure. It wasn't her dad, and they're just, like, fucking stuff up. They don't care that they're killing people. They're like, they'll kill whoever they need to kill just to get her blood.
That's why it's good.
I know.
When you start putting science into it, like Morbius...
Dude.
I still cannot bring myself to see that fucking movie. And they released it again at the theater.
It's for free right now on one of the
shit, I won't watch that shit if...
I am not a big fan of Jared Leto. I just don't think he's a good actor.
I heard he's not a nice person.
Yeah, yeah.
That's all I'm going to say about that.
But, I mean...
As Forrest Gump would say.
His best role was him getting the shit beat out of him by
fucking Fight Club.
Fight Club. Yeah. What are you going to watch? Anything coming up that you're going to watch? Besides the movies on here?
Well, we're going to give Two Witches a shot soon.
Oh, yeah. Two Witches, which is a movie... that came out. Arrow, I think it's the same company as the DVD company. I keep meaning to look that up.
It is.
Okay. So Arrow is a company like Scream Factory, like Criterion, that puts out certain collections of movies. Arrow is one that does mostly horror movies, or maybe all horror movies. Or
yeah, it's mostly horror, but they do a lot of.
So they'll like do a lot of special edition horror Blu-rays and DVDs. They came out with their own channel, which has a lot of stuff on it. And supposedly is kind of rivaling, Shudder as far as horror movies. But
I hate that though.
Because there's too many now.
No, it's only available on your phone.
Oh yeah, but they did an exclusive release of this movie called Two Witches that is getting really good reviews, and it looks really good. But you know what it reminds me of? The story, when you watch the trailer, it says the lady is like, my mom's a witch, but when she dies, I'll get all her power. That's very reminiscent of Hellbender. But in Hellbender, the mom's
has to be eaten.
Yeah, the mom's not letting her daughter know that they're witches because she doesn't want her to take her power.
I liked Hellbender. That was a good one.
Hellbender was great. If anybody wants a just good independent movie, this movie called Hellbender, which we talked about before, is a family, a father, like two sisters and a mom, made this movie during COVID on on their property, right? Like, I mean, it was like
their land,
and they made this horror movie, and it is, man, thinking about like this is just a family that made a horror movie, and they actually already had a band. It was like their family had a band
called Hellbender,
so they like do the whole soundtrack. Which that part's like kind of a little cheesy, but it actually, for what the story is, it plays into the story well. But yeah, it's a good movie. I recommend that thing. I feel like that's a good one.
Yeah, for sure. Next week on it, we need to try to go see Smile so we can do a little review on it.
People are liking it, so that's cool. And I'm glad horror's doing so well right now at the theater. It means more money being dumped into horror, which makes our Twitch job a good prospect.
Yeah.
We could just start streaming like this every single night and never do anything else.
I wish.
Well, I mean, if we didn't have to work all day, it'd be fun. I'm tired.
I wish.
People.
I'm so tired.
He won't let me stop.
So tired.
He gets angry and says, "You gotta be there."
I'm so tired. So what do you think?
I think that's probably it. I think we're good. Sign this sucker off.
Sign this sucker off. Thanks everybody that tuned in. Thanks for joining us. Do it at work.
Shoot.
No.
But then we'd have to stop every time somebody came in.
Later, Mr. Monkey. Thanks everybody who chimed in. Until tomorrow, day 26. Tune in and talk shit, guys.